Hey guys, welcome back to my channel called How To. Today we'll see how to download and install Eveng on your local machine. So the first thing you need to have is you need to have a VMware Workstation player on your local machine. So I'm using right now VMware Workstation player 17. I think that's the version I'm using right now. So I'm just using GNS3 VM. I'm just using GNS3 on my VMware Workstation, and the version that I'm using right now is 17, right? So just try to download this VMware Workstation player. Just Google it and download it, and if you have any issues on this, do let me know in the comment section below. I can help you out with that part. So once the VMware Workstation player is installed, what you need to do is just go on Google or the browser that you have and type Eveng, okay, and click on download section for downloading the Eve. So over here we have in two sections. One is professional version and one is free community version. So I'm going for free Eve community version for this tutorial. Okay, so there are over here there are three links, or the three mirror links. So you can click any one of the links and you'll see the download section. So just try to download this. The size is 2.7 GB for this zip file. Okay, so once you will download this, uh, like once that is downloaded, the one more thing that you need to download is Windows client side, right? So this is this is even a mandatory software that you need to have for running telnet, vnc, wiresharks, and so on and so forth. Okay, so under this Windows client side, just click on any one of the links. It is a mega link, I think. So once you'll click over here, uh, you land over this page and just click on download. Okay, um, yeah, just click on download and just click on standard download. You'll download this Windows client pack as well. Okay, so these are the two things that you need to download first, and once that is downloaded, we'll jump into our VMware Workstation player. And what I'll do, I'll just click on file, I'll just click on open. Okay, so I have placed my software into the D drive. The reason being, I don't have much storage on the C, so that is why I have just placed this software under D drive, right? So once you'll navigate to the download section, just click on Eve, and so this is an OVF file that you need to pick, and just click on open. So once you will click on open, it will prompt you for giving the name for this virtual machine. I'll just give Eve Angie, and I just want to make sure you can just go the default path for placing your uh, Eve, but I'll be using D drive. As I said, I just don't want to occupy my C drive. Reason being, we're gonna do labs. We're gonna put many more things under the save. So that is why I'm just jumping to the D drive, and I'll just try to make one folder over here. um, I'll just click on make a new folder. I'll just give Eve ng VM and then click on OK. So I'll be placing my things into the D drive and click on import. Okay, so once I will click on import, it will take some time to import based on the performance of your machine, right? What's the config you have. So it won't be taking much time, so let's wait. Let's give it some time. So the by default, the storage that this Eveng will be taking place would be of 60 GB. Okay, the 60 GB in the 60 GB SSD uh, is the OVF file that we have downloaded for this Eve, and I think this is imported, right? So once this is imported, you can just click on edit virtual machine setting, just to make sure you have enough RAM. At least the minimum RAM that you need to give is 8 GB by default, right? And there are 4 processors, 1 core that it is consuming, and you need to make sure this virtualized Intel VT is also checked. Okay, so if that is done, what I'll be doing is so the by default SSD size is 60 GB that I said. It will be picking up 60 GB of SSD. I'll be adding uh, additional hard drive just to make sure my Eve will be running smoothly. Going further, I don't want to split virtual disk into multiple files. I just want to increase the storage. This is how you can expand the storage for your VM machine. And just click on next. I'll just make sure this is under D drive. Yes, this is under D drive, and just click on finish. So we have added SDD. So by default, like if you are newly setting up the Eve, by default it will be the network adapter will be in breeze mode and leave it by default. uh, but for me, I have just tweaked some sort of settings just to play my labs, as I'm using GNS3 VM, and I have edited some sort of things into for my virtual network adapter. That is something we'll be covering on our next section. But for this lab, I'm just going to use my custom VNet 8 so that I could get the IP address specified. But for you, if this is a new lab, just go with the breeze mode by default. Okay, and for me, I'll just click on VMnet 8 and then click on OK. The reason being, what I'm saying is, if I'll go to edit and virtual network editor, you could see I have multiple VMnet that I have configured over here and given the specific IP address and so on. So we'll be seeing how to do this, how to add, and so what was the purpose of making multiple VM like virtual network adapter over here. But that will be covering as we go forward for the next videos. I'll be taking care of this as soon as we have a requirement. uh, I'll let you know how to do it. Okay, for now just go with the default. So once this is done, so these are my config that is in place, right? Network adapter, hard disk, processor, and memory. So all we need to do is power on this virtual machine. So once you'll power on, it will take some time, probably a couple of seconds. Also, if you want to type anything inside this black box, inside this cell, either you can type Ctrl or G from the keyboard and you'll be into this shell, right? Or you can just and if you want to come out of this shell, just click Ctrl plus Alt. Okay, so it will show you over here on this bottom. Okay, so Control G, or you can just simply click into the cell, and the default login password would be, the default username would be Eve, and the password would be root, I guess. Okay, let me try Eve and Eve. Okay, I think it's been long. The login name would be root or Eve. Yes, that's the one. Okay, so the username and password that this you need to have is, okay, it would be root as a username and Eve as the password. Okay, so please repeat the root password. uh, it would be our Eve. I'll just EVE. I'll just make sure the root password would be EVE. Click on enter, type the root password EVE, EVE. So this is tricky. Okay, like if you are into this cell, though you will type something, but it won't be it won't be visible over there. But just make sure you just type Eve and Eve for this prompt and click on OK, and type the sort host name. I'll just go with the default, and I don't want to have any DNS name so far for this lab. Then the domain name, I'll just go with the default for now. And how you want to set the IP address, either DHCP or static. I'll just go with the DHCP by default, and the hostname IP address of NTP for initial clock sync, I'll just leave it empty. Just click on enter, and I don't have any proxy server configuration, so it's a direct one. So I'll just click on enter, and that's all. Okay, so it will save those settings and try to load. So let's give it some time. now I have the login prompt. So the password, the username would be, as I said, the username would be if right. The username would be root, password would be if. That's all. Okay. So even if you have noticed something, I have got the IP address as well, right? So this is the IP address. Okay, where is it? Over here. If you could see, the IPv4 address for pnet 0 is 192.168.62.134. That's the IP I got from the DSCP. Control Alt. The reason being I chose VMnet 8 was, so this is the IP address that I'll be getting. Okay, 192.168. This is the DSCP range for VMnet 8. So that is why I'm getting this IP address 192.168.62.134. I'll just make sure I'm reachable. I can reach that IP address with ping 192.168.62.134. Yes, that is reachable. So once that is reachable, all you need to do is go to the browser and hit https colon 192.168.62.134. Is it 62.134? 192.168.62.134. http. Okay, just type http and the IP address that you have got, and it will give you the Eve GUI login page. Okay, so here the username would be Eve. Here the username would be Eve, but the password would be admin, something like this. Let me check. The username would be admin and Eve. Okay, so in the GUI section, the username and password would be, the username would be admin and the password would be Eve. Okay, so this is for console, this is for console section. The username would be root by default and the password would be Eve, but for Eve GUI part, the username would be admin and the password would be Eve. Okay, so this is something you need to make sure. Like, I have seen many users, like, they jump into GUI and try to use the root and the Eve password to log in, but that's not the case. But for Eve GUI, you need to have username admin and the password as a Eve. That's the default password we have. Okay, I can save it. If you want to save it, you can save it. If not, then no. So this is how your Eve uh, GUI looks like, right? So if you want to add a new lab, you can just give a new lab. I can click on test. So this is how your Eve lab would be looking like. You can just click on right click, add a node. So we don't have any nodes right now, right? So we need to have QCOW images uploaded in the Eve, and then we can, like, pick our Cisco routers, switches, ASA, right? There are multi vendors QCOW images. We can just pick and we can start doing the lab. Okay, but for this section, I won't be uploading any QCOM images on this. I'll be covering those things on my next video. This video was totally for how we can download the Eve and the client side package, and how we can set up Eveng in the VMware Workstation, right? And how to log into the GUI and see this, right? I'm like, just you can just explore these things. Okay, you can just close the lab. You can just, this is the test lab that we have created, right? You can just delete it or you can edit it. You can just use the same lab, and we'll see how to do the labs on the Eve as well. But so far, for the installation purpose, we have covered how to download and install Eveng on your local machine. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be seeing you on the next video. If you have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. And see you until next time. Bye bye.